So, welcome to our book club. And today we're going to discuss the book Designing Your Life by Bill Burnett and Dave Evans. The usual, we do the discussion in three parts, which is the evaluation of the book, the way it was written, how did the book impact you, and overall. Of course, we're going to go over some highlights, but this is the main subjects that we're going to talk about. So, Stefano, thank you for coming again.
Of course.
And let's see if we start the discussion. You want to go ahead?
Let's do it. So I have the book right here. I think I told you during last call that one of the speakers, I think it was Dave Evans, one of the authors. He spoke at FIU when I was going there, and he gave away a lot of these books. I read a decent chunk of the book back then, and I wanted to read again, and I make the mistake to try to read the book itself instead of listening to it as I usually do.
Okay.
And I wasn't able to get through all of it, but a decent chunk of it. And I like it. I think it's a good book. That kind of like idea of design thinking is something that also, I think that's why they invited him, was like a key part of a lot of the classes that I attended back at FIU related to like entrepreneurship. So it felt very natural kind of thinking about that in the context of figuring out what you want to do, even though we usually don't think about it that way. Like, for example, one of the notes that I have here is the idea of having those prototype conversations, or kind of just figuring out what is it that you think you want to do. And instead of just saying, all right, these are all the options that I have in mind, this is the one that I like best, I think I should just go out and dedicate the next 10 years of my life to doing this. Instead of doing that, like go out, have a few conversations with people that are actually doing that thing and validate a little bit more whether you think that's something that you would enjoy doing. And I think that is worth reading this whole book, in my opinion.
It's called the prototype conversation, right? The prototype conversation. Yeah, I love that part too.
I see it all the time. Like, it happened to me, it happened to my brother, it happened to a lot of people, where you commit to a career, you study something without even knowing, like mainly like university, like you just commit to the next 4 years to studying something, and you haven't even talked to someone that's actually doing whatever you're studying for. So I think that's a amazing hack. I'm not sure if it was like a big part of the book, but I read it somewhere in the beginning, and it was this idea of kind of like, if we are not careful, we can spend a lot more time thinking about how to live than actually living. I think that applies to me a lot, or where if I'm not careful, I can spend a lot of time thinking about, well, should I do this? Should I do that? When many times the best thing to do is keep doing. And as you progress, you'll find more information. And as you open more doors start to open, right? Instead of just trying to think whatever steps ahead, when it's hard to kind of like have all that visibility. I will definitely keep reading the book because I have like 30 or 40% left, but I'll give it as how it was written. To that, I will give it an 8, just because I think if you want something that is like straight to the point and you don't want any fluff, then probably this is not that good. But if you want to kind of like enjoy the process of reading, or just getting a lot of examples about what you're reading, this is good. But I think there is some fluff. In terms of impact in my life, I will give it an 8 right now. Overall, I will give it an 8.
Great. I have a couple of questions for you.
Yep.
So this is the book. They ask those questions in the book. So one of them is, in your current business, what you do, e-commerce and other things, what is the main things that you actually love to do? So that's one of the things they're talking about in the book. That is, sometimes people maybe don't like what they're doing, but partially they do. So, but they don't see the difference between one thing and the other. So now they just stereotyping, and they saying, okay, this industry or whatever I do, I just don't like it. But in your business, do you know clearly what you love to do and what it is? What is it?
I will say is doing high leverage activities. And I know it sounds kind of general, but like I get fulfillment from doing stuff that I know has a big impact on the business. For example, if I'm doing the books of the business every single month, that's impactful, but I don't enjoy that at all. However, let's say that I have been doing that for 2 years, and then I'm like, all right, I feel comfortable hiring a bookkeeper. Like the process of finding a good keeper to delegate that to, I enjoy it. Like just knowing that I'm saving myself X amount of hours every single month and that matters to me, then I enjoy doing that. The same goes for anything. If I'm developing a new product, if I feel that that's high leverage for the business, I enjoy doing that. But if it comes to developing the second product, which is very similar to the first one, then it becomes like, yeah, I don't enjoy it that much because when I solve the same problem twice, it's kind of like I don't enjoy it as much.
The other question that the book asks, if you wouldn't do what you're doing now, what would be your alternative life?
I think like in my life, I started with let's make money and it doesn't matter if you enjoy it or not. I'm just going to try to make as much money as possible and that's it. And I have learned to enjoy the process of doing that. I think an alternative different life would have been going the other way around. So saying, let's start with passion or whatever I enjoy and then try to make money out of it. Something I enjoy outdoors and the ocean all my life. I hadn't realized that until not so long ago, but ever since I was a kid, I will go to the beach almost every week. I will have an alternative life would have been getting a sailboat and traveling, right? And then starting some type of blog and trying to make money out of that. Learning to tell stories, whatever, something like that. But it's starting with passion and what I enjoy doing and then building around it.
I see. Okay. Great answer. So the last one.
Damn, there's more.
One more.
Get ready,
there's
man.
more, but I'm just gonna give you one more.
You better get ready.
If the money would not be a problem, what your life would be?
Man, right now we just try a bunch of stuff. That's kind of like what I'm trying to do, but of course I work a lot, so it's a couple of hours a week. But I would just everything I want to try, I will try. I will try improv, stand-up comedy. I will try English classes in different ways. I will try different type of martial arts. I will try a bunch of stuff like different water sports. I will try all of that and then figure out what I like and then like go from there. So I will be the answer will be exploring. That's what I will do.
Exploring.
Yeah.
Got it. Awesome.
Yeah, you better get ready, man.
You passed the test. No, I'm just kidding. So, all right. Awesome, Stefano. Let me do my evaluation. So I love the book. Okay. There's a lot of parts that I love it. It's a little harder in actual life than just designing the life, because there's a lot of things in life happens that are not by your design. If everything were by your design, I think the life will be perfect, right? But it's not. So there's a lot of things that is out of your control. So that's a little thing that is always in my mind, but in the sense, it does make sense. You should try to do and be what you like to be and have the job that you like to be in or have a business that you like to be in. And that's what it's more or less what it's about. And at the same time, there's a lot of people think that if they are entrepreneur, they're going to be happy. That's what the book is about. But it's not necessary. There's a lot of people that are entrepreneurs and they're miserable, right? The other way around, there's people that study law and they are working in the law firm. All that examples that the book gives, it's not me saying, I'm just interpreting what the book said. And you work in the law firm and you also can feel really bad. You don't feel in the right place. You feel miserable, right? So it's a really the path that you can take, and it can be a wrong path. But in my opinion, and again, I could be wrong, you can always change the path. I mean, it all depends how old are you. You know, there's a lot of factors that you can put in, but if you're in your middle age and you don't like what you do, you always can change what you do, you know. Now, of course, you need to prepare for those changes, okay? One of the things that I like, what he said is you don't have to change right away without any understanding what the other path is. That's why he was talking about this prototype conversations. You go to the people who actually do what you think you like and ask them questions for the reason why you're going to change to that path, to see if it's really worth it, you know, because it might not. Not everyone is fit for every, you know, things, but it's like I say, the grass is always greener on the other side. So people have to really understand that. So my evaluation, how it was written, I think it was 8. How it impact me, I think I would give a 6, to be fair, because I have read a lot of books. Fortunately, I am exactly where I want to be, right? I love what I do. Sometimes it hit me hard, but I know that is part of the journey, and I am accepting those ups and downs, and because I love what I do. Sometimes I might don't like the business that I'm in, right? Sometimes because of the things that happening to me, but I do love the business world. I am an entrepreneur from where I can just think about what I want to do. You know, I never want to be an athlete. I never want to be actor or any of that. I always want to be entrepreneur. Overall, I would give a 7, average between 8 and 6. And overall, I would give a 7. I think the book is great. Anyone who doesn't read any of these type of books for business or motivation, I think it's a great book. I think everyone should design their life. Again, there's things going to happen to you that will move you around, that will not. Sometimes you have to make a decision not exactly the way you want it. But in the long run, you should always have things and do things that you want, right? Then what is the life is about if you don't do what you like to do? If you're suffering all the time, you in your job, you don't like it, you with your family, you don't like it, you with the friends, you don't like it, do something about it. You know, change your friends if you don't like your friends. Change your job if you don't like your job. Change your family if you don't like your family. You know, I mean, there is some family that you cannot change, but you can just stay away from them. You don't have to be around them. You know, all those things is still your decision, okay? And it's by design. You need to design those things. If you don't design them, they're not going to change. And then there's another say that I really like by Tony Robbins, I think. It says, if you don't design your life, somebody else going to design for you. And they're not going to have your best interest. So or you do it, or you just go with the flow and you just respond to whatever happens to you and meet the needs of others, and nothing going to be, and make sense for you. So that's my 2 cents.
Nice, man. All right. Now, so let's start with this one. The second one you asked, which is, what if you had that alternative life, what do you think you would have liked it to be?
You know, that question, I was thinking about it deeply because I really like my life. You know, I really design my life. So the alternative would be something similar. If it's not a business world and it have to be something else, I would find a job that give me the flexibility of a businessman, maybe a sales job, that it's based on your commission, dealing with the people and bringing the sales and bringing the business. I would try to go that route, you know, and that would be my alternative. But again, I really love what I do. Again, I would find maybe a different business, but that question means more of alternative. It's like totally different what you do in
Yeah.
that. And so there's another part of that question, which didn't ask you. I don't want to drill on you a little bit more. It's that you have to write down or draw a 5 years sketch of that alternative life. Okay. So to make sure if you really want that, because sometimes people, why that question is it's for people who really doubting of what they're doing. And they know, maybe if I would be doing that, I would be in a lot better position. I would probably feel a lot better. Okay, if you think so, write down the sketches of 5 years of that progress of the life. Go talk to a prototype and see what they're doing and make sure it's really what you want. Because if that really what you want, you should change it. You should go and change that. You should go for alternative life if you don't like the life that you have. You going for the next question?
Yeah. So if money was literally zero of an issue, what would change in your life?
I would definitely focus more on my purpose in life. There's different stages of life. When you are in survival mode, that's repeating what I learned in a Patrick David event. Okay. And it's totally true. You have different stages in life. You are in survival mode. Status, it's when you want to have a better house, like better lifestyle. Then you have a freedom, which is freedom of financial freedom. And then you have purpose. Okay. I would focus myself on purpose, finding my purpose. And I would do probably the things that I do now that do not make money for me, which is this book club, doing classes, podcasts. I will double down on that. Definitely. Okay. I would find a way to optimize and make it a lot better, more professional. I would dedicate that path. Educational, help people to educate themselves, because I think the education system really sucks. And I think we can do better to be more up to date. And that's what I would do.
Nice. All right. So education, will you say that's kind of like the core of your purpose?
I want impact in the world. I just don't want, if I would have all the money in the world, I don't want to just spend the money. I love the experience of money. I love the status. I like the lifestyle. I would definitely do that as well. But I would find a way to impact the world, the people. I want to help people, find a way to help people. Again, now I'm doing it with the part that I'm still in the status to go to financial freedom, So when I get to that point, I will definitely going to do it.
Okay. Now I want to ask you another question. There is a part in the book where it kind of asks you to rate 4 areas of your life. So it's work, play, love, and health. How would you rate those 4 from 1 to 10?
Love, I think I got 9, between 9 and 10. That's what I have, right? What I received. I think I got from 9 to 10. Love, I got love from everyone. My wife, my kids, my family, my mom, everyone loves me. I don't struggle for love. That's for sure. Work, I think I would give between 7 and 8. I know I can do much more, but not in the sense of the effort, but in the sense of creating better processes, systems, optimizing better. That's why I give it between 7 and 8. I know I have a lot more potential.
Okay.
Health, same thing, 7, 8. There's a lot of potential in my health. I'm not optimizing at fully. I'm just maintaining, I'm not going all in my health. And fun, I would give 7 to 7.
Okay. So it seems that kind of love is your priority, or is what you kind of have worked to optimize the most, no?
Yeah, love, connections. I mean, family for me, it's a number 1. If now something's going on with my kids, I don't care about anything else, So that's a priority for me, or my wife or my mom. I let everything go just to go and help the people that I love or the people that love me. Then second, I will give it work, health, and then play.
Nice. All right. The
Oh,
interrogation is over.
you got some question for me, huh? Nice. It was a really good book discussion.
Yeah.
What is the next book? I think there was a nice vote going on in Telegram,
It's
and there was a book chose that not chose by me, but it was chose by the community, and it's called Build to Last by Jim Collins.
Yep. I think he was the one that also wrote Good to Great.
Good to Great?
Yeah. Which I think
Okay.
is a good book too.
That's exactly what I need to do with my business. Good to great.
Mm-hmm. We all have to.
I'm always stuck on the good.
Yeah.
I have to go to great.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the next one.
All right. Thank you very much, Stephanie, for your time.
Thank you.
Love the book discussion of today. And I think I hope anyone may be joining for next time. And yeah, it's been great.
Awesome. Thank you, man. This was great.
Thank you.